Hi and welcome to Literary Hype. I am Stephanie, your Literary Hype Woman, and it's time to wrap up November. November always flies by because there's so much going on with Thanksgiving and Y'all Fest. It's just a lot going on. NaNoWriMo, for those of you who participate and have joined me for writing sprints, appreciate you. So I did not get as many books read as I would like to. Especially if you watch the TBR game, that was a lot, and I really did not set myself up for success. So let's get into what I read and what I thought of it. The first book that I finished reading in November was Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. I was a big fan of her football romance series, so this one kind of returned more to her romance roots. It's about a bookstore owner who doesn't actually like books, who meets a really hot author. And not only does she get to fall in love with him, but she gets to fall in love with reading, and isn't that what we all just really want? We want to see people fall in love with reading too. I really enjoyed it, and I gave Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin 4 stars. My first 5-star read of November was The Loophole by Naz Katoub. If you have not seen my interview with him, definitely check it out. He's got a really great message that is pretty timely for some stuff that's going on in the US right now. And around the world, really. The Loophole, it looks like a cutesy cover. It does have some cutesy elements, but it is a lot deeper than you would expect. It deals with racism, homophobia, Islamophobia, identity issues. There's a lot of depth and really heavy material in this that is handled in a way that isn't too heavy, but still gets its point across. It's about a 17-year-old who goes off in search of his ex-boyfriend when his ex-boyfriend goes missing. And there's also a storyline with a djinn in there, and it's got a little magic in it. It's really got a little something for everyone, so I really enjoyed this one. It surprised me. Definitely recommend The Loophole by Naz Katoub. My third book of November was Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. So I kind of didn't notice that this was on Edelweiss until I was putting it out the night before the book came out at the bookstore where I work. I was like, how did I miss this? So I immediately went home and downloaded it and binge read it really fast. It is very enjoyable. It's another memoir essay collection from the actress who gave us Lorelai Gilmore. But if you read Talking as Fast as I Can, that one did have more Gilmore Girls stories. This one kind of touches on it here and there, but it's not really Gilmore Girls-y. So just keep that in mind. It does talk about more recent stuff. But I enjoyed it. 4 stars. My second 5-star read of November was one that I also did not expect to be giving a 5-star rating to. It is Delete That by John Crist. He is a comedian. I kind of went into it with a little bit of a grudge because of all of the stuff that had happened with him and his getting canceled and how he returned from getting canceled by making fun of cancel culture. Seemed like a ballsy move, which it is, and that his apology didn't actually say I'm sorry. So I had issues with him going into this. But his book is such a vulnerable, kind of raw look at what he was going through at that time. And it does, leading up to it even, and how he got to that point and what all was going on. So I appreciated his vulnerability, the rawness, the honesty. It is well written, which I kind of also I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be as well written as it was. I mean, he writes jokes for a living, so it should be well written. But it's caught me off guard, so 5 stars for Delete That by John Crist. The 5th book I finished in November was Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane, which was part of my Hype TBR game. However, I made a boo-boo when I picked it, because I picked it for the office trope, because on the quick look at the synopsis, it said something about coming into work or whatever. Yeah, that was not really that was just a little bit. It wasn't really the story, so I did read it. It is about a bi woman who has this really great one-day romance and things end really bad, but it's a year later and she's still thinking about it and accepts a fake proposal. So this really rich guy can get $2 million, and she shows up at his house for Christmas to find that her one day love that she hasn't been able to stop thinking about from the year before is this dude's sister. Cue the drama. Lots of drama. But it was really sweet and handled that kind of situation in a very interesting way, and so I appreciated it. I enjoyed it. 4 stars for Kiss Her Once for Me by Allison Cochran. And the last book that I finished reading in November was another one of my VIP picks for the month of November, and it was 1,000 Heartbeats by Kira Cass. I love Kira Cass. I love her so much. I will read anything she writes, and I really hope to get her on this channel sometime very soon. So 1,000 Heartbeats is about this dual perspective of a guy and a girl. The girl's a princess, the guy is living off in the wilderness with a clan that doesn't really have much to their names. They're pretty poor and don't have the resources, but they believe that they are the rightful rulers and should be taking over for this princess and her family. There's a lot of ways that their stories are tied together and connected. It is really, really well done. The beginning was pretty slow for me, so I'm giving it 4 stars. But once I got about halfway through, about halfway through, then things started happening and I did not want to stop. So 4 stars for 1,000 Heartbeats by Kira Cass. Please check it out. It is precious. I love it so much. So you might notice that that's 3 of the 8 that was on my TBR game for the month. I did not do well. In my defense, Drums of Autumn is huge. I did get like more than halfway through, getting more than halfway through that one. But yeah, and then like It Starts With Us, I needed to read It Ends With Us first, and so that just added onto it. And it just, with everything going on in November, it was just, I did not set myself up for success. So I'm just gonna let it go. It's fine. Everything is fine. We are fine. If you're interested in reading any of the books that I finished reading or tried to read in November, those links are down below. You can also check out my reviews at LiteraryHypeWoman.com. There's more of my thoughts there from like right after I read them. So there's definitely more to check out on the website. And there's always the next month's TBR game, which I think this one's gonna go better. So if you haven't already seen the December TBR game, Hype TBR game, definitely go check that out and see what you think, because there is a challenge in there. So you might want to be joining my challenge. So check that out. If you're enjoying my content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's really helpful. I appreciate it so much. It helps the channel grow, and I am loving seeing how this channel and this community is growing. It is so much fun for me. I hope you're having a great time too. So that's all for me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Have a great time. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.